Hello and welcome to Georeferencing You, a how-to using ArcMap. Today we will be georeferencing an image using a few simple steps. The first of which is to input whatever layer you're using that has spatial data that corresponds to the area of the image you are trying to georeference. This should have something distinguishable on it that you can use to correlate the two layers. It can be a shoreline, perhaps a satellite image with really identifiable landmarks. For me, I am using this roads layer. So now that I have this, I have projected it, I have set my environment, and I am ready to bring in my image. So when you drag your image in, this warning pops up saying that we are missing spatial reference information. This is okay as we are going to be adding the spatial reference information. So thanks ArcMap, but we'll be fine. So the next step is to add our georeferencing toolbar. To do this, I will click Customize, Toolbars, and scroll down to Georeferencing, and there she is. Perfect. So our next step is, if we look at where our image has gone, it's off in the middle of nowhere because it has no spatial reference information. So we want to get it as close to where it correlates to as possible. So to do this, I'm going to find the area, which is here, get it so it's about right, click the georeferencing toolbar, and fit to display. So now you can see where the image corresponds to the roads. This should be good, but if you need more help, you can use the flip or rotate to get it exactly where you need it to be. So now we're going to start adding ground control points. So you do so by clicking this button. The first point you place is going to be to the image, and the second will be to the layer you are referencing it to. So you see when I do that, it moves and it starts adjusting so that my image ends up being properly georeferenced. Now, ground control points are not as easy as they seem. If you open the link table, you can see at the top there is a feature called RMS Error, which takes the residuals and tells me how much modification has to be done to fit my map. And if there's a large number, it's generally not very good. However, this is not in every case. For example, here I have the same image and the same spatial data. I'm going to show the importance of spreading your ground control points out and their affiliation with RMS error. So let's say, oh, I'm going to place a point here. I know it correlates to there. How nice. I'm going to place another point. Oh, this looks great. And oh, you know what? I want to stay in this little corner where it's easy, so I'm just going to go like this. So you'll see that I get this warning telling me that it's going to affect my warp, and I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling crazy. Do it. And I get this, which is most definitely not what I want and not what I am aiming for. So this is one thing that can happen if you put all of your ground control points in one area. Another thing that can happen, if I just go and delete this, so let's say I stick in this area, but not quite as extreme as that. So if I do this, and I'll add one more. So now let's look at our RMS error. So our RMS error is quite small. However, if you look at the image, it is not at all lined up where we want it to be. So this is another reason we want to spread our ground control points out, because if we concentrate them in one area like this, it's not going to turn out how we want it to turn out. So if we just fast forward to this data frame, I can open up links that I've previously saved. And let's just pretend we've placed all these links together and we are almost done georeferencing our image. First things first, when you have your links table open, I would highly recommend saving your links. If you do not do this, if you change data frames, they will disappear and you will cry. You will cry many tears. So I have my links, and let's check out this RMS error. It's 4.6, which isn't too bad, but it could be a lot better. To make it better, we can look at our residuals, and oh, this one's really high, so that's not too great. So I'm just going to delete that, and oh, it's gone down a lot. This one is also quite high. Oh, this one's higher, so I'm going to delete this one. And wow, it's gone down to 3.2, but if you look, the image, it hasn't been warped out of place or anything. So this is looking pretty good. We've got a good number of ground control points, so I will save this. Perfect. And so I'm sure you're wondering down here what transformation means. So when we're modifying our image, ArcMap can use a few different mathematical algorithms to choose how the image is warped. A zero-order polynomial is just shifting the image over. So if we choose that for ours, it looks quite ridiculous because ours is not just shifting over, ours requires rotation and modification. So that is why we are using a first-order polynomial. A higher order polynomial will also warp and bend the image a little bit more, but we don't really need that, so we're just going to stick with first order. But yeah, there's a lot of different transformations for different things that you could need for ArcMap. So now we've got all of our points, our image looks pretty well georeferenced, and our final step is simply to rectify the image. These settings all look good, and I'm going to just double check that it's where I want it to be. It is, let's call it something spiffy, and we are good. So if we go back to the original layer we had, and let's say we remove this image, if I want to add my new data, working and something spiffy, oops, there we go. You will see that instead of being in the middle of nowhere, it is exactly where we want it to be. And thus we have successfully georeferenced an image, and my job here is done.